The secret that killed my hope was the same one that saved his life. I sat on the hardest, cheapest plastic chair imaginable, the kind that digs into your back, outside the sterile glass facade of the Seattle City Hospital. The autumn chill was a bitter joke against the warmth of the setting sun, but I couldn't feel either. All I felt was the icy knot of dread in my stomach. My husband, Marcus Thorne, was inside, and he was dying. He had always been my rock. A master craftsman, Marcus could spend all day in his woodshop, covered in sawdust, then come home and build me a future with just his smile. His laughter was a warm, booming sound that filled our small, mortgaged cottage. Now it was just a faint echo in the quiet hospital room. 6 months ago, our life was a roadmap leading toward a family, travel and grey hair together. Then the fatigue started, the unexplained fever, the way his skin, once tan and healthy, turned the colour of old parchment. The doctor's final diagnosis, severe myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, was a cruel, complex sentence. His bone marrow was failing. The only fix was a perfect stem cell transplant. I held it together for him. I had to. I'm a librarian, I research. I told myself I could find the answer. But the brutal truth was a locked door. Marcus was an orphan. Raised through a chain of group homes, he had no known relatives, no family tree, and no one to call. The National Donor Registry was a lottery with impossible odds. That morning, Dr. Alastair's voice was too quiet, too kind. Elena, we've exhausted the registries. We are at the end of the line if we don't find a compatible donor. Soon. He didn't have to finish. I knew the silence meant days, maybe weeks. I escaped to the hospital's courtyard, tears blurring the neat rows of chrysanthemums. I was supposed to be strong. I was supposed to be the one who fixed things. Instead, I felt like I was dissolving. I walked past a secluded break area where 2 hospital technicians were chatting, oblivious to the tragedy unfolding 20 feet away. Then I heard a sliver of conversation, a careless, ordinary piece of gossip that made my breath seize in my chest. That Thorne guy in the 8th floor oncology unit, I swear he's the spitting image of Owen Davies, the mechanic in Port Townsend. Same eyes, same build, it's uncanny. Port Townsend, a tiny, foggy coastal town 3 hours away, a mechanic named Owen Davies. My heart hammered against my ribs, a chaotic, desperate rhythm. It had to be a coincidence. People look alike all the time, but this wasn't about likeness. This was about the only thread of hope I had left, the only lead that wasn't a doctor's regretful shake of the head. I made the drive that night, the rain a constant, blurring sheet on my windshield. I had no name, no plan, just a crumpled picture of Marcus on my phone and the overwhelming fear of returning empty-handed. Port Townsend was exactly what I expected. Salty air, ancient fishing boats, and Main Street consisting of one block. I found a dimly lit garage, the sign reading DAVIES Auto Repair. I stepped inside. The air was thick with oil and gasoline. A man stood under a flickering lamp, wiping grease from his hands with a rag. He was tall, rugged, and his face was etched with hard work. And then I saw his eyes. They were Marcus's eyes. The same intense, piercing shade of hazel, the same shape that crinkled when he was thoughtful. My hand shook as I held up my phone, showing him the picture of my husband. "This is Marcus Thorne. He's my husband," I choked out, tears finally breaking through. "People say you look like him. He's very sick. He has MDS and he needs a donor. He has no family, but I heard about you." Owen Davies stared at the photo. The rag dropped to the concrete floor. His rugged face went slack with shock. "My mother," he whispered, his voice rough. "She had a baby boy before me, never talked about him much, just that she gave him up and left town." He looked from the phone to me, then back to the photo. I always wondered. My heart, which had been racing, suddenly felt impossibly still. "He could be your half-brother," I managed. "He needs a match, he needs you." Owen didn't hesitate. He didn't ask about the risk or the process. He just looked at the picture of the man who shared his blood, then looked at me, the desperate woman on his floor. "When do we start? We go now," he stated, his voice ringing with absolute certainty. We drove back through the night. The hospital fast-tracked Owen's genetic testing. The wait for the result was the cruelest hour of my life. Finally, the hematologist walked into the waiting room, not with the look of regret I was used to, but with a smile so profound it felt like a miracle. "He is a perfect 10 out of 10 match." I led Owen to Marcus's room. Marcus was frail, his energy fading. His eyes opened to see me, then widened in complete shock as they landed on the stranger beside me. Owen walked to the bedside, his work-worn hand extending to grasp Marcus's fragile one. "I think I'm the family you never knew you had, Marcus," he said, his voice deep and steady. "And I'm here to make sure you live." I stood in the doorway, watching two men who were strangers, yet brothers, hold hands. The doctor's words, that there was no hope, had been defeated by a single overheard whisper. The life that was fading was finally being pulled back into the light. The transplant surgery was a success. Marcus is recovering slowly but surely. He and Owen talk every day. The life that was built on loss has now been rebuilt on the ultimate gift of kinship.